Is I, the Derrick son, your big banana reader. I really love to carry short books for YouTube over the years. This one is when Curious George is going to get his own book when he goes to a bookstore. That's why it's called Curious George Goes to a Bookstore. So take a look at this one. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George and his friend, the man with the yellow hat, were going to the grand opening of a bookstore in the neighborhood. George's favorite author was going to be signing her last Penny the Penguin picture book. He had every Penny book she'd ever written. He couldn't wait to meet her. But when they arrived at the bookstore, they found a line that zigzagged between the bookshelves. "We'll purchase the book first and then wait in line to get it signed," said his friend. There are a lot of kids who also love Penny the Penguin. The line inched forward and stopped, inched forward and stopped. George climbed onto his friend's shoulders and tried to take a peek at the author, but he was small and she was hidden by the crowd. He looked around the bookstore. So many new books. What stories will they hold inside? What funny characters would he meet? "Be a good little monkey and don't wander off too far," said the man in the yellow hat, letting George down and picking up a bird-watching guide from a nearby shelf. "You wouldn't want to miss getting your book signed." George was happily flipping through storybooks when he noticed the wonderful smell of banana bread. It made his stomach rumble. George was curious. Could there be food in the bookstore? Food and drink were never allowed in the library. George decided to find out. As he turned the corner, he discovered glass shelves filled with baked goods instead of books. It was a small cafe. Next to the cabinet was a table with a sign advertising free samples. George watched people help themselves to little squares of banana bread. He took one too. Yum. A little girl saw George and tugged her on her father's sleeve. "Daddy, look, that monkey likes banana bread too." "Yes, I suppose monkeys would enjoy banana bread." He responded, still looking at his book. While George was waiting for another sample, and then another and another, he saw a little girl and her father leave the cafe area. Tucked under the girl's arm was George's favorite dinosaur book. He decided to follow them. They led him past a display of dinosaur books in the science area of the store. The display was as tall as the man in the yellow hat. It was hard to resist for a little monkey who loves to climb. George climbed onto the first tire. So many books to look at. He wasn't sure where to start. He saw his favorite dinosaur book, but he also saw other books. One picture is a Apatosaurus eating leaves and another shows for pterodactyls soaring above waterfalls. He climbed from tire to tire until he reached the top. From above, he noticed a stack of boxes in the corner of the store. The boxes were shaped like presents, but the bows and wrapping paper were missing. What could be inside them? George leaped down and opened the boxes. They each contained a stack of the newest Penny the Penguin picture book. George wondered, why were the books in boxes? They should be in a big display like the dinosaur books. George had an idea. George got to work right away. He balanced the books one by one as they were filled with blocks. People like marveled what he was doing, except the man with the yellow hat, who was enrolled in his new bird-watching guide. The tower books grew and grew and grew, and so did the fowls amazing. "What a wonderful display," said a woman. "Wow, look what the monkey made!" exclaimed the little boy. "Stop!" shouted a nearby bookseller. "You shouldn't have opened those boxes." But George was having too much fun to notice. From the top of the display, George looked down and finally saw the bookseller. The manager and the man in the yellow hat had peered up at him. "That monkey opened all the boxes for the signing," complained the bookseller. The manager smiled at George. "He certainly did, and now we don't have to. I think this tower book is the masterpiece." The manager asked George if he would like to help with the signing. George was delighted. He would finally get to meet his favorite author. George made sure each book was open to the right page, ready for the author's signature. I thought it was funny that her name was Penny, just like the penguin in her books. As she finished signing the last book, Penny turned to George and smiled. thank you so much for all your help today. So it's great to have extra hands and feet, but there's one book I still need to sign. She inscribed the book and handed it to George. Inside was a note saying, "To my new friend George, keep reading." George loved his new book. It was special and one of a kind. He had such an adventurous day at the bookstore. He couldn't wait to visit again. The end. Well, I hope you liked this King George book. So, when you subscribe to this channel of mine, with a big thumbs up, let me know which King George book you like so far.